Want to know what real everyday riders are buying as their own personal bikes? I caught up with a bunch of real everyday riders. Hey mate, how you doing?
Right, Rob, very good, thank you.
To see what types of bikes people are actually buying for themselves and what modifications they're making. We're at a local event with hundreds of e-bikes from shop bought, direct sales and even DIY Chinese e-bikes like this one. But before I show you the bikes, everyone loves the crash. We've all been there with that look on our face. So this is Everyday Riders, and these are the bikes that are out on the trails right now. Hey mate, how you doing?
Right, Rob, very good, thank you.
Focus, you've got a Focus Jam Squared. Oh, yeah. Sam Squared.
Sam Squared 6.8 in the large. Bought it after recommendation after your video, and I'm loving it. Value for money, very good. And it just rides great, it's lovely.
So tell me about your bike setup for today. I see you've got some different tyres that you've probably popped on there, some mud guards just to, because it is quite muddy and slippy out there.
Yeah, RRPs, front and back. Magic Marys, running rim pack inserts, quite low pressures, obviously today as well, extra grip.
The Magic Marys, they holding up okay?
Yes, there's loads of grip. Bit worried about the roots, but no trouble at all.
170 travel, isn't it? 170 front and 160 on the back.
In the hills of South Wales, it's awesome. And then see the climbing back up, that's what you want it for. It's the assist, the climb up. Yeah. And yeah, I'm loving it.
Hey mate, how you doing? What's your name?
Tom Wiles, I'm doing very good, thank you.
Tom, I saw this on the way in and I was like, that looks familiar. And then I saw it a bit closer and I was like, damn, I recognise that bike. So tell me a bit more about this bike, because it's something quite personal to me as well.
For the guys who've seen your videos, this is one of the CHEEBs. Three of us, me and two other mates, thought, we watched the video, we all sent it around to each other and we're like, look, should we just do this? We've been saving up, actually, we were saving up for a couple of years until we're 40 to buy our e-bike. We're now 37 and we got the e-bike a little bit early. All got it in, got it imported, built them up, so we got the frame and the motor, obviously from who you recommended, and then we just put extra components on and got them up and running.
It's so good to see. For anyone that's not watched the video yet, I bought a cheap Chinese frame and built it up, and it's been so good to see other people doing the same kind of thing, because you can actually build a bike for pretty reasonable money, can't you, compared to what's out there on the market?
I think it was £1,600 delivered, and we got the frame, the motor, an 840 watt hour battery, I'm pretty sure it is, which has been epic today. It's lasted all day, whereas other people's have come out. All the other components I got, one up, seat post was really cool. Got some RockShox lyrics on the front, and we've got Fox Flow rear shock. I got the two shocks, the two suspensions second hand. Bought new wheels. I think it was £3,000, just 3,100 all in all.
That is incredible. When some bikes being ridden, there's so many beautiful bikes here, but there's some bikes that are probably, you know, maybe 10 grand plus. So to build a pretty capable enduro bike, full carbon, full suspension for 3 grand, I think is pretty amazing. Did you paint it?
So one of my other mates, his father-in-law painted it for us. He sprays cars for a living, so we stripped them all down, rubbed them down like you said in your video, and we handed them to him and he sprayed them up. I think it's an Audi colour of one of the cars, but we absolutely love it. We saw it on like some swatches first, and we're like, that would do, and then we stick it up. We honoured the CHEEB with the CHEEB sticker, and then got our own little names blazed into it as well, so we're well chuffed.
Pretty bloody awesome, man. The CHEEB lives on, and it's fantastic to see the bikes, and I heard that you're actually doing pretty well in the race. You've done all the stages, yeah. And is it true that you're winning at the moment?
Well, at the moment, yeah. Well, last time I checked, I placed first in my age category, and I think like 5th overall. I just wanted to prove the CHEEB can do it, can hang with the big boys.
Hey mate, how's it going? What's your name?
Alan Craig.
Alan, how's it been going today? Have you had a spill? You got a bit of mud on there?
Yes, we have had a spill on one of the trails, yeah. It's been amazing today.
Word on the street is you're quite a fast gentleman as well, is that right?
Well, I try my very best, yes. Yeah, I like to have a go, see how quick I can get down them.
So tell us about your bike, because it looks pretty beefy. I can see you've changed quite a lot on this KENEVO, so go for it. What changes have you made? You've got different tyre setup, you've got different forks I can see, but tell us a bit more about your KENEVO.
Well, what we did is we put complete new suspension on it, so we put Fox suspension on it, rear shock and forks, changed the brakes, because personal preference, I really love Hope brakes, so we put Hope hubs and brakes on it, and the main thing is we've changed the size of the sprocket, front sprocket, to make it a bigger gear, because I was finding I was using all the gears up too quick, so then we've just changed that, and the rest of it's just, yeah, personal preference. I love riding with hand guards, so I'll make sure they're on just to protect the hands, especially in the winter. It keeps them nice and warm.
Yeah, I've seen a few riders now add in hand guards and, you know, stops those kind of dings on the side of the trees and stuff.
Yes.
The Fox 40, the standard KENEVO is 180. Is that how you're running this, or you've gone up to 200mm travel?
200mm travel. So what we did is we just dropped them through the yokes a little bit, just to drop the front end down so it's still level, but I prefer it that way. For me personally, when I rode it, I felt the front was a little bit low, so then it just brought it up a little bit. I always like the front end to be a bit higher, so I end up packing the handlebars up and just, yeah, stuff like that, really.
That's one of the good things with a dual crown fork. You can adjust the geometry quite easily, can't you, with
Yes.
just the adjustments on the clamps. A lot of people are running Magic Marys today. In fact, yeah, it seems to be a really popular tyre. How they've been holding out, because it is quite muddy and slippy out there despite the sun out now.
The tyres have been incredible, and I've never run any other tyre, so obviously I'm one of the people who think they're in really, really good tyre. Yeah, it is slippery, but they really grip well. They hold well across the roots, actually, which is the bit that concerns you the most.
Brilliant. And I can see you've got a Berkshire turbo top here. There's a lot of Berkshire turbo riders, and, you know, we've got to give a shout out to Berkshire Turbo, because they're doing a great job and keeping you all running and all that stuff.
Well, to bring this event together, I think they have done incredible. You know, for us to be able to just have e-bikes here, he's put a lot of time and effort into this, and I think it's just the most amazing event, and let's hope for some more next year.
Hey mate, how you doing? What's your name?
My name's Pete Anthony.
Tell me about your Bullet and what you've done to it and how it feels to ride.
I got it in January this year. It's my first e-bike. I was on a specialised enduro before this. Yeah, got it. Managed to be lucky enough to get one. It was the top of the range when I got it, but I still have made changes, because normal things like grips and pedals, you want your contact points to be your own. Then I've changed the brakes, because I like Hope brakes. It's got V4 brakes on. I've got TRP rotors on it because they're 2.3mm. And then I've got full ASX, so I've got ASX seat post, ASX X01 gears, so that's all tidied up the cockpit nice, so there's no cables. And then I was lucky enough to get the second, or me and my mate's got a Bullit as well. And we got push shock on it, coil, so because I've ridden a Fox DHX2 before and just love the coil, so yeah, went coil as well. And that's about it, really.
So does it come with, am I right in thinking it comes with an air shock this, and you've moved it over to coil? So tell me about that Push Industries coil. How's that feel?
It just feels, because you could either get the air or the coil build, but because they were so in demand, it was sort of get what you were given. So I got the air one. The air was okay, but I found it a little bit poppy, especially over the roots, a little bit chattery. So yeah, I managed to get the new Push 11.6, and it's just sublime over the roots and stuff like that. It's just a coil is just brilliant. Got a specialised hillbilly on the front, which is almost like a Mary, but it seems to clear the mud a bit quicker. So I've got a hillbilly on the front on the 29 and then a Mary on the back. It's quite draggy, but on an e-bike you don't really mind.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Katie Drake.
Lovely to meet you, Katie. Tell us a bit about your bike.
The bike's been amazing. It's a bog standard 2019 LEVO comp. We've had it from new. I've changed the front wheel because actually the bearings are going in the front wheel. That's why I stole that one off my Intense carbine. But everything else is basically as it came. So, but I think it's pretty epic, really, the bike.
What tyres are you running? I can see that's probably
Magic Mary on the front. That is my absolute go-to tyre. I love that tyre.
Do you know what? Everyone here, I'm pretty sure, has had a Magic Mary on the front other than one, and I think he had a hillbilly, but a lot of people are having the Mary.
I only have a Mary, but last time I did a Pedalhounds, I actually ran a shorty on the front, which was amazing in the mud. So this one's been great today, but I couldn't tell you what's on the back actually.
Yeah, is it Maxis?
TB?
Oh, is it a WTB? But it looks pretty chunky.
Yeah.
The Pedalhounds guys put on an event that anyone can do and take part in.
Yeah, I think it's especially Land and Nod is a brilliant grassroots beginners one. So if you're new to it, come here. It's a brilliant one to start on. Looking at the rain.
And do you know what? It's been sunny all day and now it's started to pour down. But great to meet you.
Yeah,
Thanks very much and good luck for the rest of the day.
you.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Oh no! Where'd that come from? Hey mate, how you doing? What's your name?
Brew from Thornbury.
Nice to meet you, Roo. I can see you've done quite a few mods to this LEVO.
First thing I did was change my tyres and my rims, because when I first had the bike, I was getting a lot of punctures and stuff. I bent my rims a few times, so I thought I'd invest in some stronger rims and some tyres and a bit of cush core to help. And then the next thing I did was I changed my suspension, because I felt like I was getting quite fatigued and I was having too much. If I had put in too much pressure, then it would be too hard, and if I had too little, then I'd have the suppleness I want, but I wouldn't have the bottom support.
So you've put this, what is that, an OHLINS coil?
It's an OHLINS coil from TF Tuned. I was having problems with jumping and stuff, so I thought I'd change my rear suspension, and then I also went to the RockShox because I've heard they're a lot more supple than the Fox stuff. That's the MRP cartridge. It helps with reduces the volume and stuff, so it keeps me the suppleness on the top part of the suspension, and as it goes further down the travel, it makes it a lot stiffer, so I've got the suppleness that I need and the support lower down the travel. I usually run double DHF, but my rear tyre was a little bit worn, so when I came to this event I had my rear tyre changed and they recommended that I get the Magic Mary, and I've wanted to try it for a little while and it's been really good, to be fair.
And how's the bike been running today?
Yeah, I've lowered the compression slightly as it's a little bit wet, so I can get a little bit more traction, and it helps me get around the corners and stuff.
Cool, man. Well, good luck for the rest of the day. Thanks for showing your bike. It looks pretty sick. And yeah, great to meet you.
Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
You as well.
Cheers, man. Hello, mate. How you doing? What's your name?
Derek.
Last time I saw you had a, what did you have? A Specialized Levo S-Works?
I had an S-Works Levo, yeah.
So how come you've moved over to long travel aluminium KENEVO from the lighter weight Levo?
We were mainly riding around Swinley, and then we sort of progressed to Surrey Hills, Pease Lake, Rammore, Hindhead, and the riding just got more extreme, you know. And so then I tried to adapt the bike to make it fit for purpose on the gnarlier stuff. So I mulleted it, I put 38s on it, I put a coil on it. But it still just didn't feel quite right because it was carbon. I was going down some of those trails and it just felt like it was going to fall apart, you know. So I just thought, in the end, I just thought, get the bike for the job. So I just got the KENEVO. And I feel safer on it. I don't know what my times are like, but I definitely feel safer on it.
Yeah, it's a big slack bike with long travel, and they are super stable, aren't they? You got the coil, boxer. So have you made any changes to it?
Yeah, I've uprated the spring. I'm waiting for an Estoria, but for the moment I've put the spring for my weight on there, and I managed to get one of those chargers for the front forks, which turns it into the ultimate fork, and that makes a massive difference. And when I first got it, there were people saying, "Oh, compared to the S-Works, you're going to feel it's like a bit of a boat." But I've got to say, with these forks, it's pretty lively on the front end, so I'm quite pleased with it. I uprated all the brakes as well. Well, I say uprated, I put my preferred brakes on there, Hopes with Megura 220mm discs, slightly shorter cranks, and that's it. I'm pleased with it. I want to change the bars as well. The 800s are a bit too wide for me.
Have you got a Magic Mary, and is that a big Betty I can see?
Yeah, Magic Mary on the front, Big Betty on the back, and I've got a set of WTB Verdict wets on standby in there if it was sloppy, because I can't believe how well it's held the water from yesterday, you know. It's mint out there.
It's been raining for a few days in the south of the UK, and I actually thought it would be, yeah, really wet and sloppy, but it seems like it's drying out. I love the colour on this KENEVO. I don't think I've seen this one in real life, so
yeah,
it looks fantastic.
I fancy to say, everyone's gone for the black, you know, and when I first saw the colour, I thought, I like that. So, yeah, I'm pleased.
Someone told me you're a stuntman for James Bond. Is that true?
That's well, not just James Bond. I've done 5 Bond films, but yeah, I do stunts, TV and films.
So you're well kind of rehearsed in like falling off and like jumping down and like rolling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I try and stay on, but you never know.
Hey mate, how you doing? What's your name?
Gareth O'Rourke, G-Funk MC.
Gareth, did you say? G-Funk
MC.
G-Funk MC, got it. Pretty nice looking Trek rail.
Yeah, she got it. She did
with quite a few modifications, so it looks nice and muddy. It just absolutely shot it down with rain. But tell me a bit about your rail. Why did you choose this bike? What have you done? You've got loads of mods to it.
Got it on accident when my commensal went off for a motor change, and bought it as a stopgap. Fell in love with it, sold the commensal, kept that. So yeah, I've done a bit to it. I've pretty much changed everything on there. So got the Zebs and the X2 on there, and long dropper, different wheels I built up. There's Trail Mech hubs with WTB rims, Shigura brakes, so Shimano and Megura calipers. Yeah, she goes well.
Basically, you're like me. You get a bike and then change everything, because that's what I did on the Trek rail that I'm riding at the moment. So I'm interested in quite a few things. You've got RockShox forks, Fox shock. What was the decision there?
I don't like the RockShox shocks, and I live 2 miles away from Mojo or Silverfish, so they helped me out a little bit with setting everything up. Zebs are a lot cheaper, and I do prefer them over the 38s, and you can't get 38s level money. So
I think bang for buck, the Zeb is a brilliant fork, nice and plush but stiff as well. And Shigura. So loads of people are talking about Shigura. Like, what is the thought process behind changing out to a Shigura setup, and what benefits does it give you?
You get a lot more modulation with the Shimano lever, and the Megura ones. they were great for a bit, and then they started failing, and you can't get parts for them, so you've got to buy a complete new brake. So I just went with, I had a set of them in the garage, I heard a lot about them, and yeah, they seem to work.
So essentially it is the Magura caliper paired to a Shimano lever,
Yeah.
and you've got Shimano rotors on there, I see.
Yeah, Ice Tech rotors, they just, for fatties like me, it's, they cool down a little
You're not a
bit.
hair over it.
But yeah, they're good, I like them.
And how's the bike been riding today?
It was really good till it rained.
Hello mate, how you doing? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Lee Howells.
Representing Don Skeen Cycles.
Cycles, yeah.
Tell me a fact about Don Skeen Cycles.
Well, they sell the best brand out there, don't they? Specialised.
So what have you got here? KENEVO, is it?
Yeah. So we got downhill casing tyre on the front, super gravity with Cushco in the rear, all-in shock, 200mm air shaft in the front, and that's about it.
How's the cush core running in the rear, and are you running lower pressures as a result of sticking cush core in with the super gravity?
Yeah, running. The idea was the casings are not as strong as the downhill casing, so run the Cushco, you can run a low pressure. I think I'm 14 in the back and 16, 17 in the front.
All right, and you mentioned the forks, so what did you do? Have you popped them up to 200mm travel?
Yeah, so just took the 180mm air shaft out, put a 200mm air shaft in the front.
The OHLINS coil, so what does it come with stock, and why'd you go with OHLINS?
Comes with a RockShox Select, but the OHLINS coil just feels a bit nicer. It's a more refined shock, in my opinion. But
You got caught out in that epic rain shower we just had.
yeah, made the trails amazing.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Been a bit of a hectic day, but yeah, it's all good.
So I heard that there's like over 250 entries sold for this race, which is pretty incredible. Does this make it the biggest e-bike race in the world or in the UK? It's got to be in the UK.
Definitely in the UK, but I think it's the first e-bike only race. So yeah, it was capped. We thought if we could get about 100, 120, we'd be happy. Then it went to 200, 220, and then we had to cap it at 246 because we couldn't get the chips for the timing. So yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. Good turnout. Last night we was a little bit worried about the weather, but those that stayed at home really missed a good day because it's been fantastic. So yeah, really pleased, Rob.